Tonight's video uncovers the rumor shaking the entire Little People, Big World universe. Social media is exploding, fan pages are melting down, and longtime LPBW viewers are all asking the same question. Did TLC finally cut ties with Caryn Chandler? And even bigger, did Caryn's presence in Matt Roloff's life cost him everything he built over the last 30 years? The fandom is convinced that the fallout from Caryn's involvement, the farm feud, the fractured family, and the behind-the-scenes tension has pushed TLC, the fanbase, and even Matt himself to a breaking point. For years, Caryn has been blamed for everything from the failed farm negotiations to the collapse of Matt's relationship with his kids to the show's declining energy. And now, with new rumors swirling, fans believe the consequences of that drama may finally be catching up. Whether these claims are true, exaggerated, or completely misunderstood, tonight we're breaking down why this rumor began, what fans believe, and how Caryn became one of the most controversial figures in LPBW history. Let's get into it. In today's deep dive, we're unpacking one of the biggest debates in the LPBW community. Has Caryn Chandler done irreversible damage to Matt Roloff's image, his family unity, and even his future with TLC? This isn't just a simple fan argument. This is a long-running narrative built over nearly a decade of tension, speculation, interviews, and subtle on-screen moments that fans have analyzed frame by frame. In this episode, we'll look at why fans believe TLC is quietly distancing itself from Caryn, from promo cuts to reduced screen time. How Caryn's growing authority on the farm allegedly intensified the rift between Matt and his kids, especially Zach and Jeremy. The exact timeline that led to the Caryn versus everyone narrative, and why it refuses to die even years later. And of course, the viral claim that Caryn is responsible for Matt's empire slowly crumbling, including the farm feud, the broken family dynamic, and the show's uncertain future. This episode is packed with context, fan theories, behind-the-scenes speculation, and the emotional fallout that brought the Roloff family to this moment. So before we jump into the major turning points, we need to start at the beginning. Where did this TLC fired Caryn rumor even come from, and why did it explode now? Let's break it all down. Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. For Roloff family latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. The rumor started quietly, almost too quietly. A single claim circulating across TikTok, Reddit threads, and Facebook fan groups. TLC doesn't want Caryn filming anymore. At first, it sounded like just another piece of LPBW gossip. But within hours, the theory caught fire. Suddenly, fan pages were dissecting every frame of recent promos. Caryn's noticeable absence from the newest TLC marketing. Matt showing up in more solo confessionals. Amy, Zach, Tori, and Chris getting the spotlight instead. And most importantly, the explosive backlash whenever Caryn appears on screen. To longtime viewers, it felt intentional. As if TLC was quietly shifting the narrative, reducing Caryn's visibility, and positioning the rest of the family front and center. Some fans truly believe the network is reacting to the numbers. They argue that Caryn's presence consistently triggers negative comment storms, heated debates, fandom infighting, and entire threads dedicated to criticizing her choices, her attitude, or her influence on Matt and the Roloff farm. In their eyes, TLC is simply doing damage control. Why keep featuring someone who divides the audience so sharply? But another side of the fandom sees it differently. They think Caryn herself is retreating. That years of online hostility, everything from mild criticism to outright harassment, have taken a toll. And that stepping back from filming might be less about TLC cutting her and more about Caryn protecting herself from a fanbase that has grown increasingly unforgiving. Regardless of which version is true, one thing is undeniable. Caryn's relationship with both TLC and the viewers is more strained than ever before. And that brings us to the bigger question. What pushed this situation to the breaking point, and what does it mean for the future of Little People, Big World? This is the moment where the story turns. This is where the fandom splits right down the middle, where longtime viewers start asking whether Matt's decisions since entering a relationship with Caryn set off a chain reaction that ultimately fractured the Roloff legacy. Whether true or wildly exaggerated, this theory dominates TikTok threads, Facebook fan groups, and Reddit discussions every single week. And here's what those viewers point to. The farm was supposed to be the crown jewel of Matt's life, 30-plus years of sweat, ambition, and family memories. But when Zach and Jeremy stepped forward, eager to keep the farm and the family, negotiations blew up faster than anyone expected. Almost instantly, fans began questioning everything. Many believe Caryn's presence shifted the tone behind the scenes. That her opinions, her preferences, or even just her proximity to the situation swayed Matt's mindset about selling to the kids. Rumors exploded that she pushed for higher prices, that she didn't want to live next door to the adult children, or that she simply didn't see the farm the same way the Roloffs always had. Whether fair or not, the perception was locked in. The dream of passing the farm to the next generation died, and many fans blame Caryn for it. Before Caryn, viewers saw Matt as the visionary builder, the guy with endless plans, projects, and family goals. But after he began dating her, supporters of Amy, Zach, and Tori argue that something changed. They claim Matt's priorities shifted away from family negotiations and repairing relationships, and toward building a new life with Caryn. From luxury vacations to new construction projects, fans began noticing a pattern. Matt seemed far more focused on future plans with Caryn than salvaging the fractured relationships with his kids. The narrative grew stronger each season. Matt didn't just change, he transformed. The perception that Caryn replaced the family. This is where emotions run the highest. As viewers watched the show evolve, many felt Matt and Caryn's bond began to overshadow Matt's connection with his own children. More trips for two. More remodeling projects for their shared future. More screen time centered on their relationship instead of healing the family divide. Slowly, a theory took hold. Caryn didn't just join the Roloff story, she became the center of it. And in the process, fans believed the foundation of Matt's empire, the family legacy, the goodwill with viewers, and the unity of Roloff Farms began to crumble. Every disagreement, every tense moment, every camera-captured silence seemed to reinforce the belief that Caryn's involvement, directly or indirectly, accelerated the unraveling of what Matt spent decades building. For more than a decade now, Caryn Chandler has been the lightning rod of the little people, big world universe. And what's wild is that the backlash doesn't even always come from anything she does on screen. Sometimes, her mere presence sets off an entire storm. Fans accuse her of pulling strings behind the scenes, of influencing Matt's decisions about the farm, of benefiting from conflict within the Roloff family. Some viewers believe she stepped into the spotlight far too quickly after Matt and Amy's divorce. And because of that, she became the convenient target for every unresolved hurt, every unanswered question, and every fracture in the Roloff family dynamic. But the reason the backlash never dies goes deeper than clips, interviews, or rumors. The Roloffs never truly resolved their issues, not on camera and not in real life. The conversations that needed to happen didn't. The explanations fans hoped for never came. And every time the family tried to move forward, something felt unfinished. Those gaps, the silences, the sudden decisions, the off-camera negotiations created a vacuum. And in reality TV, vacuums don't stay empty. They get filled with speculation, theories, and narratives that take on a life of their own. Caryn became the face of that vacuum. Fairly or unfairly, she became the symbol of every unanswered question and every lingering resentment in the Roloff story. And all of that brings us to the final section. At this point in the story, it's important to separate what's actually confirmed from what fans have invented. The rumors are louder than ever, but the facts paint a very different and much more complicated picture. What we actually know. First, despite the wildfire spreading across TikTok, Instagram fan pages, and Reddit, TLC has made no official announcement about firing Caryn Chandler. There's no press release, no network statement, not even a leak from production insiders. Second, Matt and Caryn continue to appear together publicly, at events, on social media, and in updates surrounding Roloff Farms projects. They aren't acting like a couple in crisis or like people expecting to be cut from a long-running TV franchise. We also know that the Roloff family remains divided over the farm issues, and this rift has never truly healed. Zach and Jeremy's attempts to buy the property set off a chain reaction that the show has never fully resolved. And finally, there's the silence, the heavy, controlled, careful silence. Amy, Zach, and Tori still speak cautiously, carefully dancing around the details of what actually went wrong. They hint, they imply, they stop themselves before crossing a line which only adds gasoline to the fans' speculation. What's rumor? Then there's the other side, the noise. As we wrap up this deep dive into one of the most explosive storylines in Little People, Big World history, one thing stands out above everything else. No matter where you land on Caryn Chandler, whether you believe she was fired, phased out, or simply choosing to step away, her influence on the Roloff family is undeniable. Caryn wasn't just another cast member. She became a catalyst, a turning point, a flashpoint for everything the fandom debates today: the farm fallout, the shifting family dynamics, and the legacy Matt spent more than 30 years building. To many viewers, Caryn symbolizes the moment when the Roloff empire changed direction forever, for better or for worse. And that's exactly why this conversation refuses to die. The show may edit around the tension, the family may stay vague, and TLC may stay silent, but the impact remains front and center season after season. And with that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.